Whoa, adaptations. The sharp claws on a fox squirrel help it survive by allowing it to climb trees. That's an adaptation.
Adaptations!
The hard shell on a turtle helps protect it. So it's an adaptation that helps it survive.
Adaptations.
The
Adaptations.
strong back legs on a grasshopper help it to escape enemies and therefore survive. It's an adaptation. Watch it hop. Woo! You see that?
What is an adaptation? Let's figure it out.
Hey, third grade.
Hey, to understand what an adaptation is, let's first review what a trait is. Remember the word trait? A trait can be defined as a characteristic or property of an organism. Organisms are any living things. Remember? Plants, animals, mushrooms. So a certain characteristic or property would be a trait, like eye color, hair color. Those are all traits that humans have. Usually a trait is passed down from parents to the young. Now that you know what trait is, let's take a look at adaptation. The sharp canine teeth on animals like coyotes and wolves help them to tear into meat. Sharp canine teeth are an adaptation for survival. Yikes. Hey, so now that we know what a trait is, think about it. An adaptation is slightly different. An adaptation is any characteristic that helps an organism survive in its particular environment. So the key thing here is it has a function. An adaptation has a function of helping an organism survive. Hey, while I was making this video, look what came hopping by. It's a little toad. It's an American toad, and it came hopping by to say hi while I was making this video. Think about the adaptations that a toad has for survival. Think about that warty skin that has toxic secretions. So if an animal bites it, it tastes bad. Oh, it's even making some sound. Think about those bulging eyes, helping the toad to see an insect a little better to eat. Toads have adaptations that help them survive. Let's take a look at some more examples of adaptations. As we focus now on animal adaptations, friends, let's take a look at dividing up adaptations into two categories. Physical or structural adaptations, like a feature an animal has on its body, or behavioral adaptations. Behavioral are things an animal would do to help it survive. So think about it. Physical and behavioral adaptations. On the toad, we already said that warty skin that this toad has would be a physical adaptation. Warty skin. What would be a behavioral adaptation for the American toad? Hey, would you like to see it hop around? Let's see if it can hop and get away from a predator. So hopping is something that a toad can do to escape a predator. Look at that toad hop. It doesn't hop as far as a frog, but it's hopping right into some cover, and I'm going to leave it alone now. Wow, take a look at this katydid I found. Notice the katydid really blends in with that green background. Camouflage is another form of a physical adaptation. I wonder if the katydid could hop. I wonder if the katydid would survive well if the background was not green. It really blends in right now. Let's see what it looks like on my driveway. Check out that katydid. Against this gravel background, the katydid kind of stands out. It's not so camouflaged. Let's see it hop. Oh, do you see that? Back in the green grass, it's really hard to see this katydid. It really blends in with the right habitat. Let's think more about adaptations of animals. So to be a true adaptation, a trait has to be inherited. The trait has to have a function, and that function must help the animal survive in its environment. What about the hoof of a white-tailed deer? Does the hoof of a white-tailed deer help it survive in its environment? Does the hoof help it to run faster? If it does, it's a physical adaptation. Think about it. Check this out. Many things are physical adaptations in animals because they help them survive. Warty skin on a toad, camouflage on that katydid, thick fur to help an animal stay warm, fins and gills on a fish. Even the shape of the beak on a bird helps it survive. Behavioral adaptations include things like hopping or running fast, like the white-tailed deer can do. Hibernation. Many mammals go into hibernation in the winter to help them survive the cold. And many birds migrate to help them find food. Those are behaviors that help the animal survive. Even herding. In certain times of the year, white-tailed deer will herd up, just like zebras do. They herd up so that predators can't get them as easy, and they can see danger easier, and they can find food. So herding is a behavioral adaptation too. Hey friends, now it's your turn. After you watch the amazing video about the pepper moth, which changed through time, you're going to answer some questions and fill in a chart about physical and behavioral adaptations. Then think about how traits of organisms can be influenced by the environment. It happened with the pepper moth. Think about that video, answer some questions about it, and you are done. I can't wait to see you Wednesday. I love studying adaptations.